Summertime, summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, summertime. Honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. This is just a short PS before the video starts with your sun sign horoscope, Scorpio. Just remember that I have a collective weekly forecast as well, which is important to watch, because this tells you something about what's going on in the world in general and the world around you, whereas your sun sign is more like your point of view, where you're standing and watching the world. So you can see that and check it out on my channel, Maria and RainbowLand, after this video. Hi there, my fellow Scorpios, I was about to say, because I feel a certain connection with you. What I want to say is that this week is interesting for you. Your planet Mars is in the 4th now. It's about your emotional life, your family, your home life. And it's Mars there, so it's kind of like calling you to have actions there, but also it can be very spontaneous and, acting before thinking, emotionally, just bursting out with it. And that can be a good thing because Scorpio, you always kind of tend to hide things and keep it to yourself. But that's a bad thing because you often keep it in for so long that at the end you will explode in such a wild way that even you get scared of the intensity and deep anger-ish way of expressing yourself. So you need to talk now. But yeah, Mars can also make it a little aggressive perhaps, but so try to, especially around the 23rd, say things that you want to say, but around the 23rd you can have a tendency of bursting out with it in a less desirable way. So don't hold it back. You won't really be able to, but it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. With Venus in your 9th house, in your sister sign of Cancer, of course opposing Saturn up there in the 3rd house of Capricorn, your belief systems about which life you really want to have will come to the surface. Like, which future do you want? Where do you want to go, travel to? How do you want to look at life? What truth is it that you're searching? And how do you communicate this out in a way where you can actually manifest it? Well, you have Jupiter retrograding in your sign. And Jupiter is actually the natural ruler of the 9th house. It's revealing another deep layer inside of who you are. Like peeling off the layers until it gets to the bottom of it. Because Jupiter is kind of like the big stage light getting turned towards you, Scorpio, and it's retrograding, so it's going over a place where it already went through, and it's kind of trying to dig it up, shed a light to what's in there, to get it up to the surface, to make you see how you can expand in a more positive way. So don't push these thoughts away. These are blessings in disguise, even though you feel like you can't control it and you're bursting out with feelings that you cannot hold back anymore. You need to try to understand, giving an understanding of the truth inside of you. And since it's imposing Mercury in the 7th house, communication is on the table, the 7th house of partnerships, and where Uranus also is, it can be like sudden outbursts, So you try to understand your relationships and help yourself grow. Also, according to other people, this is going to be there for like 7 or 8 years of your life now. So you better get used to that. Your relationships are in focus as well. The directions may change in surprising ways, because with Uranus, you never know. But it's also going to reveal the truth about what you really want from the people in your life. But you need to look upon whatever your childhood upbringing gave you of bad habits, perhaps, that you need to look at and clean out. And as we have the sun in your 8th house, and it's in your natural house, it's in Gemini, but the 8th house is a natural house for Scorpio. You're gonna have to look upon your deeper desires of what you want, like what you're passionate about, what makes your heart beat faster, and also sexually. It's going to come to the surface, and you're going to love it, because you love that when that's on the table, don't you? Of course, you'll need someone to act it out with if we're in that field. So you better be honest about who you want to be with, and tell them about your feelings. And don't be afraid that it might scare someone off. If you scare people off by demonstrating your feelings, maybe they aren't the right people for you. You are a very intense person to live with and be around, so you need someone who can be able to handle you. So if someone get the way you are, of course, because you chose a life as a Scorpio, so you are intense, and a lot of people often try to push down the Scorpios and try to make them be less scorpionic, but then they don't understand that there's a reason why Scorpios are Scorpios. They're powerful people, and they're here to live out that power, to fill out that trivial pursuit cheese of the zodiac in order to become whole souls incarnating here. So don't let anyone tell you to be someone else. Of course, if you are manipulating a lot and you're keeping secrets to people, being nasty, then you have to look inwardly and change from within in your relationships with others, because that's also the other side of the coin of Scorpio. But it's a blessing in disguise when you burst out with things that comes from inside of you emotionally. Yeah. And love-wise this month, this week, you need to look at possibilities instead of what's limiting you. You can be lucky to have a good match around the 24th. Oh, so Scorpio, let me see your passionate side. Come out honestly, share with us what you feel. This is your modern shaman, Maria and RainbowLand, encouraging you to follow trends. I mean, of course, don't follow trends. Follow your heart. Yeah. Bye. See you next week.
Sommer, du er min, og jeg er vild med dig.